And it also turns out to be one of the world's slowest moving rivers. The average flow of these waters amounts to be about 1 mile every 24 hours. And a lot of that has to do due to the extent of vegetation that we see all around it. Anywhere as you look out here and you see hardwood growing, these are actual islands in the making. The small areas in front of us here and to the right, all these little areas are called heads. Now the larger one on our left and behind us, this here is called a hummock. Now the word hummock comes from the Miccosukee language, and what it translates to, it means garden that rises out of the water. The hummocks in the immediate area were actually some of the last places where the Miccosukees lived in the wild. The tiger-tailed clan of the Miccosukees was still living on this very hammock as far back between 60 to 70 years ago. Now at present time of these heads and hammocks, what we will find is the Florida panther. There's the black bear, white-tailed deer, raccoons, possums, armadillos, razorback hogs, bobcats, otters, rabbits. In the waters of the Everglades, 53 different species of fish, 14 different types of turtles, and another thing that we have plenty of out here, besides mosquitoes, snakes. There are 44 different species of snakes. Out of the 44 different species, 8 of them are water snakes. The good news is, out of 44, we only need to be concerned with 6 of them. And those would be the venomous types. Now, venomous snakes that we have in the Everglades, we have the eastern diamondback, the pygmy redwood, the water moccasin, also known as the cottonmouth, the canebrake, the copperhead, and last but not least, the most dangerous of them all, we have the coral snake. Tall grasses that we see all around us here as we travel, this is called sawgrass. If we were to pluck a blade of sawgrass out of its roots, it is going to look like a large green onion. Now we can actually eat the white of the sawgrass. There are enough nutrients and clean water, which is filtered through the roots, that if we were out here trying to survive, we can actually live of sawgrass alone for about 40 days. Now needless to say, we're not attempting that today. I was supposed to keep you out here for a couple of days anyways. But in 2 days we can come back out and begin our sawgrass diet. How many volunteers do I get for that? Yeah, just like the swimming part, forget about it. Right. Any questions?
What about the python issue?
What about the python issue? Okay, the snake that this gentleman is just talking about, the Burmese python, introduced to the Everglades through the pet trade. Everybody bought a cute little snake, and they ended up with a 27-foot long, 200 to 300 pound animal. This is when they brought them to their established. Now, the last couple of reports that I heard, they estimate that in Florida alone, there are probably about 150 to 180,000 Burmese pythons living in the wild. They are out here competing with the gators for the same foods, and they are also making meals out of alligators. The biggest impact that we've had so far is a decline in the bird population. Also, the Florida marsh rabbit is now an endangered species because of these snakes. And we used to, I'll give you an idea how bad this situation is. We used to see rabbits in our park every morning. We haven't seen a single rabbit now in over 6 years. We call a lot of Burmese pythons in the park. That'll give you an idea how bad that situation is. The other problem is they outbreed the alligators. The fully grown female alligator may lay in upwards of 40 plus eggs. The fully grown Burmese python can lay in upwards of 100 eggs. The year-old baby alligator, within that first year, he may grow to be about a foot long. The Burmese python can easily grow to be about 3 to 5 foot long within the first year. That baby alligator is not even a challenge for that snake. So between being outbred and outfought, they can actually place the alligators once again in the endangered species list. We were the first ones to do it. Not necessarily us here in this boat, but major impact on our hands with these snakes.
Do the larger alligators take care of some of the pythons?
Depends how large the gator is, and it depends how large that python is. They are very strong animals. They have a voracious appetite. For example, let's say this gator here makes a kill. Let's say he takes a white-tailed deer. He's going to eat a little bit. He's not going to eat the whole thing. He'll try to find somewhere he can hide it, and hopefully nobody will get to it before he gets hungry again. They are finding being reptiles, the more they eat, the bigger they get.
What's he doing now?
What's he doing now? He'll be going out after shrimp, crawdads, snails, number of things. He'll eat minnows. They can sense vibrations in the water. You look at an alligator's head, all around his head, what looks like hair follicles is actually sensors, and they can sense vibration in the water. An alligator can actually sense the vibration of a splash that a fish would make to the water. Half a foot of field of Imagine that. Depending on the time of the year now and what nature's doing, like right now we are heading into the third month, actually the fourth month of the dry season. The dry season begins November 1st and runs all the way into June. Since November of last year, at the high end right now, probably 5 to 3 feet of water. Low end, some areas are just down to inches. Rainy season starts up again by September, October. If we have ideal rainfall, at the high end we could be in as much as 6 to 8 feet of water, during which time the low end would probably be about a foot to a foot and a half. So it just depends on the time of the year and what nature's doing. And also we are too far away from the bay areas for tidal changes to make any difference. Any other questions?